It's very important that every business has a a projection, a vision, if you will, going forward. It's a business plan. Freedom Venture Investments and their PPM um, has a core strategy, if you will, based on specific data points that we find to be pertinent to what's happening currently in late 2020. We're getting into the fourth quarter now when I'm recording this video. A lot of changes in 6 months. But a lot of the data that we projected early in putting our business model together is beginning to come to fruition. And the data points that I'm going to refer to right now are the fundamentals that we use to say, yeah, this is absolutely the right direction in which we intend to move. I'm not an economist, right? I'm good at what I do, right? I stay in your own lane is what somebody said one time, but I do know enough to pay attention to the pivot points in the economy, unemployment, wages, GDP, gross domestic product. All of these are factors that can help us predict the future. Because if I know what's coming next, I can then act with confidence, which is really why you're investing with Freedom Venture Investments in the first place, is you're investing with us because you have confidence in the structure and strategy that we have going forward. So some of the data points that are important to us, I'll just run a couple of these through so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. We talk a lot about GDP, right? Gross domestic product. Statistically, right now, GDP, and I'm just pulling up this data, I'm not going to guess it for us going forward. The United States is expected to be in a negative 16.5 by the end of the second quarter of 2020. And we're seeing a stagnation, if you will, and a reduction in that GDP number. Gross domestic product is the transference of goods and services. Goods and services. And when they say goods, they mean finished goods. And if we have this reduction, well, that's telling us something else about the economy. It's telling us that there is less capital moving in the marketplace. Well, there is a stagnation in wages currently. The economists are predicting a slight uptick, if you will, but nothing substantial in the hourly rate. I think they're somewhere around $24 an hour is the average that they're looking at. The other number that we're obviously paying attention to is unemployment. From the start of COVID, with that massive spike, we've now seen it's not even a leveling. I mean, unemployment is still 3 times what it was pre-COVID. So that unemployment is also creating a lot of opportunity for us because of the single family market not being able to continue to go on its current trajectory. As the forbearances and evictions begin to come into the marketplace, we're going to see the demand for apartment housing to increase dramatically going forward. So anyway, these are just a couple of the data points that we look at. It tells us which direction we're moving as an economy, as a society. And when the Band-Aid of COVID is literally torn off, we'll really begin to see the results of what COVID and 2020 have really come to fruition. I mean, what did it really all mean? And being prepared for that now is critical going forward. I thought it was important to shoot a quick video on that, just to give you some idea of how we identify these things to enforce our current business plan. If the numbers were different, we would pivot our business plan. It's always important to remember that people always need housing. They're always going to be looking for somewhere to rest their heads. And history and studies have shown that people will always pay their rent and or their mortgage first. It's part of what's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is shelter being right up there. So hope that's helpful, and I'll keep these videos coming out just to keep you abreast of the details, if you will, that go into putting this kind of business model together. Okay, thanks.